Here in Ireland we're in a lucky position which gives us, I would say, a fairly positive outlook. Europe as on a whole is about 80% self-sufficient, which means really it's short of meat, lamb product. And we in Ireland are actually in the strong position where we are about 400% self-sufficient, so we are a net export. We export about 80% of what we produce. So we have a ready-made market on our doorstep. There is absolutely no reason to believe that we wouldn't have a strong future. Now, if we look at where maybe a little bit looking back, over the past number of years there has been a steady decline in sheep numbers, and that would have been due to, I suppose, low prices in particular. So as farmers didn't see a good profitability or a good prospect for their enterprise. Now, in the last 2 or 3 years, there has been a levelling out of that, and in last year we've seen a significant rise in the overall sheep numbers, and that is in response to the demand. And it's not so much that there has been an increase in demand, but in Europe as a whole, there has been a decrease in the level of production. So we have been actually holding our market share and been able to capitalise on cuts in other areas. So if we're in a position to do that, as we have received improvement in prices in the last couple of years, it should give us something very positive to look forward to. We can increase production. We have the capacity to increase it, even on an individual farm level. The stocking rate tends to be fairly low. Our output per ewe is quite low also, and yet the research would show that we actually can carry quite significantly higher livestock stocking rates, and indeed significantly higher weaning rates, and that type of information is being produced at research level and indeed at farm level right throughout the country as we speak. So by improving output is one significant area, and of course the other area of improving profitability is in the area of cost reduction, and we have huge room for improvement in the whole area of grass production. Grass is indeed the cheapest form of feed that we can actually give our animals. If we manage it properly, it's a difficult crop to manage, absolutely a difficult crop to manage, but if we get it right, we can actually reduce the cost significantly. Something of the order of 30 to 40% of the direct costs associated with sheep farms on average across the country is associated with feed and concentrate costs, and that is an area that can actually be cut significantly by getting our grassland management right. We're actually on a par, I suppose, with a lot of Europe, but yet we have room for improvement. Our better farmers, shall we say, our more efficient farmers, are showing that they are actually more competitive than our counterparts in Europe. They've shown that they're actually able to carry significantly high stocking rates and indeed the higher weaning rates that I'm talking about, and they are have the advantageous position of being able to produce this in a grass-based system, which is not the same. There's not an option in many of our European counterparts, in many European countries, where they must rely on a higher level of concentrate feed, which we can actually move away through efficient management. So we have an advantage over our competitors, and in addition to that, then we also have the advantage of being the green image from a marketing point of view, and our colleagues in Bord Bia and indeed our meat processors are able to use that green image, albeit we need to encourage more farmers to become quality assured through the beef quality assurance programme of Bord Bia. But that is all room for improvement, and it shows that there is capacity to increase our lot. Going forward, Ireland does need to concentrate this area in the whole area of marketing. When we do, we're relying on such a high level of export of our product. It is very important that we get into the top level markets, and our marketeers are working on those all of the time. But it's also important we are to realise that a significant amount of our lamb is being exported, for example, into France. And the indigenous crop in France will always have a preference, and will always be the first choice of the housekeeper when they go to buy their meat in the supermarket. So it is going to be difficult to maybe receive the same premiums as the actual French product will, but certainly we have a product that's equally as good as what's available there, if not better. But it's important. But a lot of work needs to be done in the area on an ongoing basis to capitalise on that market. From a farmer point of view, there are, in my opinion, 3 key areas that every farmer should be concentrating on. 2 of them relate to improving their output, and 1 of them relates to reducing their costs. In the area of improving output, we need to concentrate on our breeding and adopt a breeding strategy that will improve our weaning rate, the amount of lambs sold per ewe put to the ram. We also need to concentrate on the overall amount of lambs that we can sell per hectare, and that is to do with increasing our stocking rate. And then on the opposite side of that, we also need to concentrate at the same time on reducing our costs, and the best and most efficient way of doing that is by improving our grassland management skills. And maybe then finally on a point of view from an industry point of view, we do need to ensure that we're able to capitalise on that export market for the quality product that we have, and get that quality product on the shelf, because it is recognised as a quality product, but we always feel there is more room for improvement, and we need to get it on the supermarket shelf right throughout Europe, not just the ones that we've been traditionally involved in.